inspiration and ideas for your home. Brought to you by Amish Oak and Americana Furnishings. City of Detroit Lakes Public Utilities. Harvest Homes. Janky Sew and Vac. And Paul Davis.
Hi, I'm Josh from Detroit Lakes Public Utilities, and I'm here with Tom Seeley, one of the linemen for Detroit Lakes Public Utilities. And we've got a pretty neat little display set up here on electricity, sort of how it flows on the grid and kind of how our system works. We've got Tom here to kind of go through things. Tom, you want to just take a minute here and explain some of the different parts, kind of what we're looking at?
Love to. Hi, everybody, by the way. This is what we call a distribution system coming into Detroit Lakes. This is how we get electricity to your homes, your businesses, to the schools. We have a transmission line that comes in at 115,000 volts into our substations. There's 3 of them along around our town. From the substation, we send it out on conductors at 7,200 volts, and that's what we call a primary voltage. And then from our primary voltage, we go down into a secondary voltage, which of course feeds your homes and your businesses.
Yep. And it's the middle of summer here, and we've had quite a few storms roll through Detroit Lakes this year and had a lot more outages than we normally do. Yep. And, you know, when the lights go out, what happened? I'm sure there's a million different things that can happen, but you want to talk about a few of them?
You know, one of the things is as far as a utility, you know, we want to try to keep people as safe as we can with those, but there's a lot of unexpected things that can happen. And that's why we really do want you to be aware of the danger of electricity, whether it be a down wire, which is a common occurrence in a storm, whether that be a branch or some faulty equipment that's burnt up. And so what happens is the wires could fall, and I could actually show you
That'd be great,
an example of what could happen. So let's say if there was a tornado coming and the school knew that they needed to get the kids out of there. They had plenty of time to do that. So they loaded up the kids, but in the process of one of the bus going home, a branch broke off. Hit our wire, if I could get it disconnected, and that wire lands on the bus. Well, the bus driver's been trained because there's something on that bus that's protecting him. It's called an insulator, which is the rubber tires. But there was an individual that decided to try to help that bus driver. And if you're going to try to help, the best thing to do is call 911 for a trained individual. Anytime you see a down wire, it should automatically mean danger to you. It's not something that you want to come close to. This individual decided, this young lady tried to save the people on the bus. And what electricity needs is a path to ground. And what she became is that path to ground. And you can see that she became electrocuted because the bus is being... Now we have safety equipment on our system that's going to cut that power, but it takes a little bit for that to happen. And so that's why you always have to treat a wire as if it was dangerous.
Yeah, and then also with this most recent storm too, we've seen some damage from where the power comes out of the transformer to the house too. And there's some safety tips for people in that kind of situation.
That would be a secondary wire, which of course a primary wire has more voltage, more current in it. Whereas a secondary wire, it's either going to be 120, 240, or possibly if it's a commercial building, of course that's going to be more. But if there's a down wire in that scenario, the same thing applies. Anytime you see any kind of wire down on the ground, you just have to treat it as dangerous. Call 911. They'll get a hold of us, and we'll be able to do the right thing to fix that.
What a situation where, I'm sure this happens a lot, but you know, a tree goes over and it's wrapped